Some 100 protesters remain barricaded inside a Hong Kong university as the standoff there with police continues. Now, that's according to the territory's chief executive, Carrie Lam. Clashes have been raging, of course, for days now, with 600 people who were inside that university building there already surrendering to police. Others made a bold escape by climbing out of buildings. Carrie Lam called on those remaining inside to surrender, saying the Hong Kong government was trying to find a peaceful solution to end the standoff. Meanwhile, China says Hong Kong's High Court does not have the power to end the ban on protesters wearing masks. Now, that move could add even more fuel to the ongoing protests. For the very latest, let's bring in DW's Phoebe Kong. She joins us now from Hong Kong. Good day to you, Phoebe. Could you give us a sense of what's happening in those buildings behind you there? Who's inside and what are the conditions like for them?
Yeah, Brian, I'm now standing right next to the university campus. As you can see, the building right behind me. Still 100 of the protesters are still staying, or like we can say they are trapped inside the complex. And their conditions get worse, as their siege get longer than it's the third day already. And back then, when we were inside the campus, like yesterday, there were cafeterias, there were canteens, even there was some cook them fresh food. But the food and the water is running out right now, as there is no supply to them, and there is no input of any materials or the weapons, or also the food and the water. They're running out, and we can assume that the conditions is getting worse because there's no one cleaning up the university, and I think for them it's getting harder for them to survive inside the campus.
Okay, Phoebe, there's certainly a lot of concern for the students behind you in those buildings. There's also a lot of worries right now about the students who've already surrendered to police. Where are they right now, and will they be sent to prisons on the Chinese mainland?
During the time when I standing here with many protesters, many reporters from all the parts of the world, and we saw some dozens of students leaving the campus through the road right behind, next to me, and they're taken away by the police. And some of the high school principals and some people from the educated sector, they negotiated with the police, and they have an agreement that not to arrest those protesters who were aged under 18. Most of them are still studying high school, so they won't be arrested immediately, but they have to leave the personal information for the officers, so they may arrest them sometime in the future. But for those who are already adults, they will get arrested right here at the moment when they leave the campus, and probably they will face a charge of rioting because the government has already defined the protests around the campus. Starting from Sunday, they have defined it as riot.
Okay, Phoebe, we have to leave it there. Thanks so very much to Phoebe Kong joining us from the site of that siege in Hong Kong.